Hello and welcome to a Sacred Symbols reading. I'm your host, Desiree of the Mars, and I believe it is September 10th. I had to think about that a minute, but I believe it's September 10th because it's a full moon in Pisces. And I'm your host, Desiree de Mars, and I'm going to just dive right in today. I have made an offering, and together I would love to invite you to take a few moments to attune to your breath, attune to the place that you're sitting and watching this from. And I also invite you to take at least 2 or 3 of those breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, allowing your head, neck, and jaw, your shoulders to relax. And allow your body to sink even more deeply into the cushion, chair, wherever you might be sitting. And begin to notice, imagine a brilliant white light surrounding you, flowing from up above and anchoring you all the way down to the center of the earth. And when you feel that connection to the earth, to Pachamama, to the divine feminine, imagine that there is an activation that is happening from this connection to the iron molten core of the planet, and it is activating your vitality. It's activating your health and your vitality through this spark of iron that aligns or comes into coherence with your red blood cells, with your immune system, with your T cells, awakening every organ, cell, and tissue in your body. And then imagine your heart opening and feeling a coherence with your mind, with your brain. Knowing that at the heart resides a larger electromagnetic field than the brain, than any other part of the body. And feel that light shining out, shining outward, beams of light flowing out. And then what flows back in is this connection that is eternal and infinite to all those across the veil. And to the great mystery, as you feel this energy flow back up from the earth, out through your central channel, into your own toroidal field, and expanding out even further into the greater field of all that is, into the superconscious. And then with your imagination, see a golden thread, a golden light, a golden ribbon, river of beautiful, warm energy like honey, and that is flowing back through the central channel that is now open and activated, with all of your chakras being open, fully functioning, front and back, balanced and aligned. And this golden light emanates this halo or this auric field that expands out even further from your home, your central channel, out into the room, and then even further out into where the ancestors once walked. And with this conscious awareness, see or imagine the vibrational frequencies, not only in color, but also in emotion: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, spilling over back into white and activating, along with a color field, a frequency of energy, a frequency of emotion, a frequency of emotion that is aligned with your chakras: joy, peace, and strength. courage at the heart, gratitude, humility, and divine love. And bring into this circle, bring into the central channel, whatever it is that reminds you of those emotional or those color frequencies, and feel that filling this fountain of activation of a life force that flows out, not only around you, but expands out into the room again and out even further, tapping into all of the directions, the east, the south, the west, the north, above, below, and the middle. All of the elementals, earth, air, fire, water, ether, plasma, neutrinos, gammas, and all those elements yet unknown to man. Come and be with us as we open a sacred circle for only the pure, the truth, the divine to come in to answer any questions that we may have today, or to give us guidance about this full moon and this activation that is being created from this Piscean moon. And especially anything that will give you guidance, understanding about this, this coalescence of triple conjunction that we know that is happening and is coming into its fullness or its alignment at the end of September and into the beginning of October. So imagine now we are calling in all of our guides, angels, teachers, guardians, the seen and the unseen, the magical and the mystical, in whatever way, shape, or form they may be here available to us today. The two-legged, the four-legged, the many-legged, the winged ones, the finned ones, the creepy crawlers, all playing an integral part of this life here on Earth, this beautiful opportunity that we have to be in human form, to learn and to grow and to expand our conscious awareness. And now we're calling in all of our ancestors, those who've gone before us, lived a good life and transcended, and are here working on your behalf and working on behalf of anyone you want to pull in today into this circle or that is in your heart. Included them along with our ancestors, all those who've gone before us, lived a good life and transcended, and are now here. Especially those whose names we do not know, but whose blood runs through our veins. Come and be with us. Come and be with us, creating strength, right, and resilience in this sacred circle. Knowledge, wisdom, awareness coming to you now and today, simply by holding an intention in your heart and knowing that with each breath, this coherence of the heart and the brain are being amplified into the breath that will blow into the basket. So with gratitude and appreciation for this sacred prayer, for the ancestors, may we be blessed with the benefits of all that comes through today, and not only us, but all those we come in contact with. In full faith, so be it. Aho. Okay. So together, I'd like you to now to take a deep breath and 3 breaths into the basket, aligning with your intention. bringing clarity, wisdom, and guidance in the reading today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the screen. I am going to share my screen, actually. Where are we? Okay, let me get a little closer here so I can see this. I want to share screen. Oh, are we recording? Okay, off recording. Bear with me a moment. I want to share screen. Okay, wait a second. Here we go. And I want to go to advanced and I want to flip over to the camera, the overhead camera, so that you can see these. Here we go. I'm going to see if I can go into full screen mode. There we go. And that should be an accurate image. Here we go. There we go. And it looks like it's bright enough. I love seeing how the pieces fall, actually. So I invite you to just be aware of anything that you noticed when the pieces were falling onto the cloth. And I will adjust the camera to capture anything that I'm talking about that's outside the image here. Let me move this a little bit. There we go. Okay. So, all right. The first thing that I noticed is where the intention landed, which is here, close to me, actually. There we go. So this piece of coral here is opening. It's a really open reading, which is so interesting. I love that. And there's like a beautiful spiral here. And so I would say that, you know, this Pisces moon is really showing us or giving us an opportunity here to look at, like, us have an experience of a soul remembering or a soul retrieval, and to create something new, right? Something that has not yet been created, for it to come into our awareness or to manifest onto the next level of physical form. Yeah, something that we brought in on a soul level. And that is about nurturing, right? Notice if what is it that you have in mind or you've been thinking about that would be nurturing for you as you evolve in this evolutionary process that you're in or that you're on. And know that we've got Father here, which is so interesting. This is a fascinating configuration too. We've got the Eye of God, Father, and the third eye. And we've got heart. So third eye, heart chakra, Eye of God, eyes wide open, and our Father. So with that said, I'm just going, let's see, it's a little out of the picture, isn't it? There we go. Sorry about that. So here, let me review that again. Eye of God, eyes wide open, Father, third eye, and this is the heart chakra right here. Oh, let's see, let me tip this camera a little bit. There you go. Heart chakra. So it's interesting. Just notice whether your father is living or if he's across the veil. There's a connection here right now, third eye and heart. And in fact, the heart is right in between father and mother. I don't know if I can move this any further because my computer's in the way. But let me do this. I'll just scooch it. Well, anyway, before I mess up the whole board here. Mother. So mother and father are close by. I guess you can just see the little tip of it. mother, heart, father, eye of God, third eye, that which is not yet created and is bringing forth some information to you about your a deep level of healing, right? That's what this is, a soul remembering, our soul retrieval, a part that may have split away, that you may have pushed aside because it was traumatic or it was just deeply unconscious. It's here coming into the realms of the physical. And in fact, one way, as I say that you could tap into that as it's related to your inquiry today, is that you could think about it in your dreams, or ask for a dream to bring in information for you, or insight or guidance or wisdom about this, right? About this idea of, I'm going to jiggle this a little bit, of mother, father, that which is not yet created. Or sometimes this can be for some of us who've lost a child or had a miscarriage, an abortion. This could represent literally an ancestor on that level, right? Of one that has not yet been born, that never was completely created in physical form. And, all of this information is really bringing in giving us the opportunity to find a balance of mind, right? Balanced mind, and to gain clarity about what we would like. So this is talking stick, and it's really about, focusing on what it is you really want, just because you absolutely love it. And then there will be a transfiguration happening with this. Again, I think this is mirroring this creation, something that is being born through you, around you. And we have Neptune. So, if you feel like there's a little bit of a fog around this, or even what I'm saying right now doesn't make sense, just allow it to kind of roll into your conscious awareness, your field of conscious awareness, and it will reveal itself. And how it may reveal itself is through kind of a fork in the road. If you're feeling like you're having to make a choice, or there's a choice being made for you, ideally, we want to make the choice rather than something being made for us. But on some levels, if we can be non-attached, it really doesn't matter. There'll be an opportunity or a lesson either way. One is right at the center. If you're going right for the core, it will be major transformation and moving towards that, taking action. This is Mars. And or the other route shows, there'll be more clarification of mind. This is the element of air, and also a revitalization. This is the great ones on your mother's side, great-grandparents, great-grandparents, great, as far back as you can imagine. And so they are here really supporting you with this clarity of mind, if you want to call them in, for anything that you need protection or guidance for, right? Or whenever you're feeling this kind of fog. So yeah, we're all going through huge transfigurations. It is about almost like a rebirth, something new, something being born. Here is the shaman, here is Jupiter, and Jupiter we have Eagle Condor resting on it, and Pluto. So in this huge Plutonian shift that we're all feeling, that there's no way around it, nobody is exempt from it. And this is another, someone you might be in relationship with, a loved one, a spouse, or some key person right now in your life. Something is being amplified, and it's asking you for to gain clarity, to really have a bigger perspective, and to see how it is that this fits, or this person, or this idea of co-creation fits into your vision. This is about the greater vision, right? The big picture that you've got, the big picture. And we've got the ancient ones on your father's side, the women, and then here is the men, the ancient ones, the men and the women, the masculine and feminine on your mother and father's side, but the ancient ancestors. Call in those ancient ancestors because they will really support you in finding passion. Passion, I think passion of mind, right? Passionate mind would be like, or an idea. If you're ready to download something, it will feel like a rebirth almost for you, right? This is about rebirth and going within for the reflection of what that might be. So again, I feel like some of the guidance here is about probably, could easily come through dreams, but also when you're in altered states, maybe doing mantras or just a deep meditation. Just know you'll be protected by the ancient ones. And as you move forward, as you take action, as you trust this aligned action, and this, back to what I was saying in the beginning with our soul remembering and soul retrieval, I feel like so much of this is happening because of our DNA, right? Being affected, changing, being influenced by these huge waves of solar activity that we are now experiencing. Which I would say when I look and see where the sun is in the reading here, we have grandmother on your mother's side, could really be partnering with community, younger ones, but definitely the grandmothers. This solar activity is influencing our emotions, affecting us emotionally. And I would say it's because of the position this is in, you might be feeling like you're wearing emotions on your sleeve. And just know that it's because there is, here's the other sign here about having a greater perspective, which we saw here with Eagle Condor. We've got Frog resting on his back. And so this is about the collective. So the collective, to me, it's like representing the Hanged Man in a sense. And then we've got a little cluster here as we move forward with ceremony. We've got both grandfathers, your maternal and paternal and maternal grandfathers, saying here, ceremony is key. And it's key in of that if you are seeking abundance in your life on this earthly plane, you also want to take into account looking at your structures. How are you setting up creative structures or structures for flow, for the angelics to come in, to have the wish, have the dreams that you are dreaming come in, right? Just pay attention to that. And know that as you move towards this idea or towards this experience of being in alignment more and more with all that is, right? With all that is, the great mystery, allowing the superconscious or the state of innocence. I talk about this a lot, allowing yourselves to be in a state of innocence so that you are open to unlimited potential, right? Because there is going to be fog sometimes, it's not always going to be clear. Things might be a little shady, a little foggy, or things that are out of your control that are a part of the bigger picture includes a lot. So when we're talking about a greater vision, it sometimes it includes others or other influential energies, but this is key. So here's the key. And what is key about it is here we go, the moon. And I was saying emotions may be feeling really big, and that makes sense. We have Pisces, full moon. So Pisces, is all about water, the feet, right? So get your feet in the ground, take a bath. What is it that supports you in being in touch with your emotions? I love taking baths. I don't know what I'd do without a bathtub. But it's like my sacred time, and it really opens up my crown chakra. I just can allow myself to receive and relax and revitalize and refresh, and then be open to downloads, open to insights, open to understandings. In fact, this is Deer Toe, and it is about innocence, and it's about also your home. So home, within your home, we have the coin for the luck around your home, right next to Venus, which is truth, love, and beauty, and your work in the world. And we have that next to Mercury, your home, and to Mercury. So speaking your truth, speaking what is sacred, right? Deeming what is sacred for you, and then making it so because it's aligning with the divine feminine within, right? You're speaking it. Here is your throat chakra. And then you're moving in the direction of what you're speaking, the truth that you're speaking, because it's time to receive it. This is what's here on the blueprint. Yep, sacred. You know, what is sacred? And speaking your truth about that. And then that brings us into the centerpiece, which is where you are, which is fascinating. Yeah, and facing down. So what's important on this full moon is, in part, is to take time for yourself, go within, release what is no longer serving you. Definitely release what is no longer serving, let go of things. If you've got extra stuff, it's time to clean out, right? Call in power animals for any support that you need, or notice what the animals around you are saying. Because this is what, here's the lock. You know, one of the center points is about having a sacred contract with the self, and that's got to be primary, right? The sacred union of the self. This is a Celtic knot inside of a heart. So it's like loving the self. Listen to what yourself, you know, with a capital S, is really calling for. In fact, we have at the very center, we have Buddha, and he too is facing down, just like you are here. So it's all about going within, looking for your own inner truth, speaking your truth, letting go of what no longer works for you, letting go of any kind of distractions, extra stuff. I mean, people, oh, I have a friend who just lost her sister and is now having the task of the stuff, you know, dealing with the stuff. And it's mind-boggling what we collect, what we save, and all for what, really? You know, pass it on to somebody who could really use it. Really, it's about reassessing right now. And I'm noticing what's important is something about time. Like, it's important to do this now. Don't wait, right? Because what it's showing me here, I have my two little timekeepers. This timekeeper here at the center, right here at dead center practically with Buddha. The other timekeeper is here. And what that is saying is, you know, this is like, they're both facing up. So I think until you unburden, it's about, you know, unburdening something within your life or unburdening something within yourself so that it will help you move forward, because there isn't a lot of movement. So it's something about unburdening so you can bring things that are out in the outer circle closer to what is going on in the inner circle. So any extra stuff, it's time to release it and let it go, right? Release and let it go. So that's what the circle, what, or the center of the reading is Buddha. And actually this Buddha also represents, because, you know, we do have one Buddha here, which is all about the third eye, this enlightenment, this expansion, which you might want to read my newsletter this month. I talk about just briefly about the history of the halo and how it relates to colors, right? The color yellow, and that we see yellow, and through all time, we look at the history of halos of the enlightened ones. They were always depicted as golden or yellow. And that is the color that our eye sees first, or sees the best, is yellow. I think there's no accident there. You know, and we're star beings, starlight, sun-centered creatures, sun-centered planetary beings. So there's something about the yellow, the golden sun, right? So just take all that in, notice what it means to you. But what I was going to say about this Buddha, he's also representative of Jaguar. So here we have Jaguar medicine right at the center, which is, I just love Jaguar. I've been lucky enough to have 2 encounters with a live Jaguar in Costa Rica, very close, upfront and personal and amazing. I'll never forget it. The beauty, the sleekness, the gorgeous energy in their eyes. Oh my gosh, so focus, intention, right? Intention, aligning body and mind, body and heart, heart being so important right now, right? A sacred union with your own heart. And that we said what was key about that, right? What is key to opening anything that is locked up is your emotions, just follow the emotions. This is the moon, right? And we have a full moon in Pisces, no accident. So follow your emotions because that's what's here. And it may be a gift too right now, whatever you're experiencing with community could be a very big part in activating this part of you, your North Node, your own solar energy, the sun, the light, the divine light within you, the expression of light that you have come in this life to be, to express, to fulfill, right? To fulfill. So, wow. And it all started with mother and father and the eye of God. That was fantastic. And our heart. Back to this beginning piece here, right? The heart. The heart that was, it's just a little off here, but there we go. It was the heart right here at the center between the mother and father. Eyes wide open, creating something new, bringing something new in. And trusting the emotions, right? Trusting how you feel emotionally. That was a big lesson for me this week. Well, just the other day. I completed a course in Neurographica, which is a practice. It's a graphic process that helps you shift brain frequencies. Brain can make greater, stronger, and new brain connections. So I love that work because it's in alignment with the recoding work that I do. And, so that was what I noticed in my own patterns was I tend to, my notes had all this information about, some about my feelings, but, bringing more the feeling and how the feeling actually informs the choices that we make, the colors that I chose, right? The way I drew the lines, how I felt about them. But noticing, with more accuracy, more intimacy, how the feelings influenced my choices, right? In the work that I had done, in the creations that I had made in these neurographic exercises. I'll share some of those eventually on my website too, maybe in the next newsletter, so that you get a sense of the work. I know there's a lot of people doing neurographica or neuro art, and it really doesn't do justice of the deep level of work. Okay, I am going to come back out of this. I'm going to stop my screen share. And if anybody's interested or anybody is an artist and really wants to get into a healing modality that is incredibly powerful and so yet on one level so simple, and yet many of us do not practice anything to this degree, like using it as a tool to really help us, self-heal, be our own medicine, right? That's the beauty of neurographic, I would say. It's like it's a tool that enables you to be your own medicine in a beautiful way, in a simple way, in a creative way, with just the basics of color, using markers and colored pencils. And, I encourage you to do a little exploration on it. My teacher's name is Anna Denning. She's amazing. She lives in the UK. And yeah, I can't say enough about Neurographica, but it's the work of a Russian man who's been doing it for many, many years, an architect. I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not going to say it, but you can look up Neurographica, Dr. Piskarev, Pavlo Piskarev. That's my attempt at the name. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly, but you get the drift. So I encourage you to seek this out if you're an artist or you're somebody who loves, I'm always saying that that's what the recode is all about, is having a desired result, keeping your eye on the prize, moving toward that, and having creative structures. And this is exactly what Neurographica does too. It's a beautiful way that you can just have creativity in your life on a really simple level, to give you guidance or to give you release, a way to release, a way to reconfigure, a way to restructure. Maybe things that have not been working, or things that we want to change, things that we want to shift as we move toward our vision, the visions of the things that we do want in our life. So with that said, and thank you all for joining me, and I'm going to just rattle. I don't always do this on camera, but today I'm going to rattle in the recording so that you have a sense of, even after you watch something like this, that you then have closure. And I like to call in some of my specialty guides that I work with in particular, that then create a boundary that allows for what is yours, and what is mine, is mine. In full faith, so be it. Because we all, we all will have different perspectives and see things differently and hear things differently. So I encourage you to like and share this recording, listen to it more than once. Think about it as you go through the next couple of weeks, being in the effect or in the shadow of this beautiful Piscean full moon. And know that it is a part, I believe I heard an astrologer say it's also connected to a partial eclipse. And so, there's some amplification there. There's power there behind that. So, my friends, thank you again for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope this helped in some way, shape, or form for your week ahead, your weekend.